And good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? No football. Well, I'm glad I beat out football. Well, I didn't even beat it out. No football. You wouldn't be here if there was football. Is that what I'm getting? Well, good evening to you, Pamela Jean. Good evening, Alexander, the Ganja Shaman. We couldn't think of the end of your name there, um, Alexander. Hey, Elderberry. Wow, it's a record. Okay. Hey, Thoth, this is going to be some remote viewing thing or something else. Blah 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 blah. It's too early. Hi, Jojo. I hope you made it back. Good to see you. Well, it is as titled. It's not a remote viewing class. This is a chat, a read, or something else. It's a holiday in Canada tomorrow. It's well, really can't really even call it a holiday. It's um, it's called Family Day. You know, that's what they call it, and it really doesn't have much of a significance or meaning other than you get to spend some time with your family. For some people, that's fantastic. For some people, not so. So we're here to discuss the monsters and Ovid tonight. I was hoping that Isabel Alive might come up, Morgan. Good to see you, Alexander, or anybody else that has something to input on the monsters. We read Ovid the other day to get a little bit of a glimpse into the monsters and man's connection to it. I'd like to read on a little further on that at some point. That was a lot of fun. So we'll probably do that at some time tonight. I do have a few hours to waste, so this could be fun. We'll see what happens. These general chats seem to turn out pretty good. I didn't put the word smudge in it, but we can do a smudge anyway. There's my stick. There you go. Hi, Max. And Justin Trudeau. Yeah, we were just discussing him. He's quite the monster. The monster actually in the Hebrew lexicon means human in its actual meaning. So in form, we are monsters, apparently. It's kind of cool. Hey, keep digging. How you doing? Hey, Thoth. Hey, Miss Anonymous. Oh, you changed your emoji there, your picture, did you? It looks different for some reason. All right. I think I got that. The Monster Mash, exactly. So let's pull that up. We can continue from where we left off, for those of you that were here, on Ovid Metamorphosis. Excellent read. My wife's been reading, getting into it too, and she doesn't usually partake in a lot of this stuff. So, but she's really digging the story and digging my explanation of it with the whole lizard vagina world and all that kind of thing. Blessings to you, Alexander. Awesome, thank you. I'm pretty depressed trying to chug some Guinness. Okay, well, maybe that'll help. I don't know. Give it a try. I used to use alcohol as a method to deal with things. I don't know if it had its place. Maybe it did. I can't say yes or no on that. So we covered creation of the cosmos, just to cover the whole swirling mass. We have so the here we go. Where is it? But the land was mixed with sea and air. The land was soft. I like that part because that also is mirrored in a Zuni legend of the soft earth and the soft lizard belly that I see. That's turned hard now. The sea was unfit to sail, the atmosphere opaque, so it was like cloudy and misty. To naught was given proper form, and everything was strife. All was mingled in a seething mass. Hot with cold parts strove, and wet with dry, and soft with hard, and weight with empty void. Really cool. I like that description. But God of kindly nature ended strife. It says God or kindly nature, which kind of is both. God, what do you guys think? God, is he nature itself? And on my mom's case, both at the same time. I'll take a moment and try and relax, Thoth. Sounds like nothing's coming up roses for Thoth. Well, hopefully you can enjoy a little bit of a read. But I like that. But God, or kindly nature, ended strife. He cut the land from the sky, the sea from the land, the heavens ethereal from material air. And when we were all evolved, when all were when we're all evolved from that dark mass, he bound the fractious parts in tranquil peace. The fiery elements of convex heaven leaped up from the mass devoid of dragging weight, and choose the summit, arched, to which the air, as next in quality, was next in place. The earth, more dense, attracted grosser parts, moved by gravity, sank underneath, and the last of all the wide surroundings waves in deeper channels rolled around the globe. It's a cool description and gives me an idea of how the earth was suspended. It actually claims that it was suspended. Let me check your comments here. I found something weird. Hey, Alex, good to see you.
Hey, hey, John. Good to see you too.
A new USO base. Oh, cool. If you have my email there, you can send it. I'm Miss Anonymous. Sorry, I just finished some bread there. Just made a loaf.
Nice. Oh, in the Pacific, I wanted to say Google one Pacific Ocean. Okay, Pacific Ocean. That's a huge ocean.
Yeah,
Supposedly where Lemuria was.
yeah. I'm not sure where Lemuria is. I think some people think it's at the North Pole. That's what I kind of think. Like when I hear it, I think it's a far distant land or something. But it's not really. It's just kind of a different age of man. Kind of an ethereal age, eh?
Yeah, well, this is the information is pointing that it was in the Pacific Ocean, and you had another one called Mu, and that was like connected from Australia to Sri Lanka to India, all there. And
Cool.
I don't know if you how far we have to go back in time, but the England and Belgium, with the coast of Belgium and the Netherlands, and I think a bit of Denmark too, maybe a bit of France, were all connected. They there where there's water now, they found a lot of things under the ocean, on the ocean bottom, showing that they were like a civilization, a city that could
Hmm.
equip about, I think they said 60,000 people.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's
What
go
size?
way.
What
Oh,
I always wonder what size were the people? You know, like were they giants?
interesting
Yeah.
because here the Aruba, what I understand, it was called the island of the giant, and
Oh
the
yeah.
native yes, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. Now is known as the ABC Island, but they were called the Island of the Giant. And the native here were big. What I understand, they found one in Bonaire, a skeleton. I think it was 9 feet tall. But
Hmm.
when they did a renovation of the museum in Curacao, it suddenly disappeared. And that whole thing, they had the whole skeleton intact, but it disappeared like
Of
most of the
course.
bones disappear.
Yeah.
But yeah, And one thing here, the difference was like what I understand, where most of the giants that they found, they have like 6 fingers. The ones
Yeah.
here in Aruba have just 5, so a
Oh,
little bit
wow.
different.
Different
Yeah.
kinds. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've been looking at the different kinds of men and stuff recently, and that's what the monsters references to. The various monsters, the serpents, the scorpion men, the men who breathed fire. That was an amazing one. I love that. I was still waiting for Isabella there. Hey, Jojo, good to see you.
Hey, Joanne. Good to see you.
So he created the earth. Scarcely had he separated these things and fixed their certain bounds, when all the stars, which long were past and hidden in the mass, began to gleam out, so the air cleared and transversed with the gods. Uh, Bright ether fields, the less some parts might be bereft of life. The gleaming waves were filled with twinkling fish. The earth was covered with wild animals. The agitated air was filled with birds. But one more perfect and sanctified, a being capable of lofty thought, intelligent to rule, was wanting still. Man was created. So this is the creation of man, or I guess the first of the types of men that we've had. Um, did the unknown God designing this a better world make man of divine seed, or did Prometheus take the new soil from the earth that still contains some godly element of heaven's life and use it to create the race of man? First mingling with waters of the new streams. So they don't really know in this creation how man was created. They put it to a couple of ways, and I can think of one more. Um, was man created? Let's see. Yeah, so they was he from divine seed or was he from the earth? See, I see the eggs and the monsters, and when we look at the word monster, it says human. Um,
Ah,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Holy.
yeah. Humans are monsters, and the monsters were born from the dragon. And we have fish men and serpent men. Um, let me show you guys something that's
Well,
pretty cool.
Serpentman, are you talking about the, well, in Africa, they call them chitahuri. It's like
Well, they could be.
humanoid reptilians, but you have humanoid iguanas too, intelligent like werewolf apparently, and dogmen. They're intelligent, what I understand. Some of them have powers. They can open portals and things like that. I don't. I'm still trying to find out where did they came from. What do they? Well, they feed out of negativity, but can they change?
I
Seems
don't
they
know.
have a soul. I-
I don't know. There's some interesting things in this story about changing, like the planets coming down to Earth. This here is Skinwalker Ranch, and it looks
Yeah.
in some respect like a mermaid with laying on its side, the head and face up here, and the tail coming down here. So I've been starting to try to look for these chimeric beings in the landscape as well, because there's lots of beings that, like we just went over today, an entire zodiac printed into the English landscape. But this one could be a mud fossil of an actual creature. I don't know if the ones in England were built by man or if they were actually deposits of creatures, but really cool. Really cool idea of having these creatures all over the place. Let's
Yeah, that's
see.
interesting.
So, yeah, so let me see. Let me continue here. Um, But one more perfect and sanctified being, capable of lofty thought, intelligent to rule, was wanting still. Man was created. Did the unknown God, designing then a better world, make man of divine seed? Question mark. Or did Prometheus take the new soil from the earth that still contains some godly element of heaven's life, of the serpent that was dead, right? And use it to create the race of man, first mingling it with waters of new streams, so that his new creation, upright man, was made in the image of commanding gods. On the earth, the brute creation bends its gaze, but man was given a lofty countenance and was commanded to behold the skies, and with an upright face may view the stars. And so it was that shapeless clay put on the form of man, till then unknown to the earth. We get into the 4 ages of man. So that's a really cool description, and I think it leaves open. It leaves it open to a lot of interpretation on how we came to being. Um, the question whether we were from the seed or from the dust of the earth. And we have really both descriptions in the Bible. We have the Elohim created man, and then we have Yahweh created man from the dust of the earth. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Just send a picture of what looks like a serpent.
Well, Yahweh is what I understand a demigod, and the other one, well, in our DNA, do we have like 12 or more strands of different species that shows that we were our ancestors were messed with, like experimented on, trigger on from the past hundred thousands of years, maybe more.
Yeah, they are coming to some of that evidence, even in the mainstream.
So
Uh,
actually, we're not hybrid. I know we're not original. We're hybrid.
yeah, yeah, well, that's cool.
Hey, Elberry, and
That is really cool.
what's that?
I don't know what it is. I think it's a base. Just sent you. Looks like a serpent. Okay, let's
Oh
take a
yeah,
look
oh
at
yeah.
that.
That's he was talking. This. Oh, I see. That's a coast. Okay. That's in the
Keenum
Pacific.
Point. Keenum Point. Okay.
Keenan- Okay.
Right.
Well, the bought and paid archaeologists will say it's natural form,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that anymore.
but it looks like a structure. Yeah, it has some straight lines and 90-degree angles. That's not natural nature.
Keenum. Okay.
The same with the Bimini roads that they say the Bimini roads are natural. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm buying that one. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You see, more this is the year of revealing. I see a lot of truth is gonna come out this year. That's why they're pushing all them places burning around the planet right now.
Yeah, they want to get rid of a lot of people real fast.
Yes,
Oh, wow. Yeah. That looks like it could be the head right there.
interesting. Yeah,
Looking
I'm pretty
at the
sure.
body.
Is there a base there? What's on that island? Is there a base there? A lab or
It's
something?
called Protection Island.
Protection island?
Yes, it is.
Protection of what?
I don't know. What a
Yeah, I'm
name.
pretty sure there's a base under there. Which country is closest to or
Let's see.
island?
Where are we? Oh, we're
Yeah,
in
where?
the U.S.
Oh,
Right by
U.S.
Washington. Right by
Oh,
Washington.
Washington.
Oh, that's a
Ah,
cool formation in that bay there.
yeah.
Wow, that's neat. All those holes and stuff. Oh, I love me some holes and some good mounds.
Uh,
Let's see. And okay, so let's look at it at a biological point. I see what may look like a face and a head up here. That's what I'm going with. So we look at the other end and look for the biological markers because I can see what looks almost like an eye, I think, right? I don't know what you guys think. Kind of a washed out
yeah, okay,
image.
wait. Yeah. If you look, it looks like a giant eye.
Yeah, on a head. Yeah. So let's follow it down its body because dragons were long. See if we could find, and I did see already, an inlet. Doesn't have the color markers that we're looking for of green, red, and black, but it's in the proper area. It's on the right spot. Could be. That almost looks like a face wrapped around there as well. Right there. Looks like a snout, but I think that's just pareidolia. Well, it could be something right there. I don't know. I like this part though. That looks like that looks like a head or something. What do you guys think? Joanne says a skull looks like a head to Pamela Jean. A hatchet
Yeah,
says James Ortiz. How you doing? That's what caught my eye was the eye. Yeah, and the open mouth. Okay, cool. Prophylactic island. Okay, good stuff. I like that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, that's really interesting looking.
yeah.
There's a lot going on around it too. And almost everything on well, I pretty much think everything except for lava on our planet is pretty much a creature, and even the lava itself comes from creatures. I've gotten the I think there's a couple of ways
Creatures.
that can happen. Yeah, it could be that they're actually eggs exploding in the sun, and because they're dragon eggs, they could have brimstone in them. That could be the reason that they bubble and boil and become volcanoes. And then there's the strings of volcanoes that are under the earth, and those could follow the. There's the two injectors on dragons that combine to make the brimstone. I can show you those over here.
That's
And what
interesting
could
perspective.
happen is underground, those chemicals could be mixing and slowly causing, earthquakes or lava to come up, brimstone, if you will, right? So
Yeah,
let's see, where is he?
I because
So you're right.
s- I've seen like UFO hover around when it explode or go inside of it. Like I've seen UFO goes in the sun too, like a type of energy, like they feed out of it.
Yeah, I could see that. But here are the injectors, and they inject two different colored fluids. If I can find a good color sample, uh, but this goes along the throat, and one's green and one's red, and they mix to make the fire breath of the dragon. That's where he was cut. Yeah, here we go. There's some of the color you can see now, different colors. But volcanoes could just follow these lines and be formed that way by the dragon's breath mixing, and it comes out, and it looks like snake venom, really. Yeah, I'm on the right spot.
Where is that? Is that in the US? Oh no, it's
No,
in
this is
Africa
North
somewhere.
Africa. North Africa,
Oh,
yeah. See, this is what it looks like snake venom on skin.
okay. Where is that? Is that in Libya?
No,
Because
no, this is in
Lib
Morocco.
Morocco. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
North Africa. Libya is just to the side there. But he
Because I know
spans.
Libya really a lot of things happening bad are happening in Libya.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's where the labia is. Libya is the labia. Have you seen that work that I've done?
no, no.
Okay, this is a lizard vagina, right here. What I'm showing you right now. This structure
I,
here, this round structure, and this
yeah.
structure off to the side here. This is part of lizard and dragon genitalia. Well, it's
Yeah.
actually all of it. Show you. I love traumatizing the people in chat with this. But if you here, remember that structure. So see this long structure here coming out to the side. All lizards have two of these, male and female. They're exactly the same.
Hmm.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. We're going back. So here is that long structure right there. You can see the blackened end. It's a tube that joins over here. There was one here, but it's gone. But this one, I believe, is a female because we have the eggs in the area. There's a fetus. That one's not quite. That one's around 8 weeks old in human terms, but all fetuses look the same. So until they grow up, they will look like that. Now that one may have grown up to look like this. Right? Do you see that image? What does that look like?
Yeah.
What does that look like to you? Can you see a serpent shape in that
Yeah.
with feathers?
Like some type of feather.
Yeah. Okay. Let me show
Oh,
you
this
how
is
that
interesting.
happens. Let me show you how that happens. You saw that fetus. You saw the egg. Where are you, Sammy? There's Sammy. What does that look like to you?
A sperm cell.
Yep. There you go. Okay. Now you saw the first lizard, the lizard vagina with its in both forms, the image I showed you, and the one in the landscape, and that was a female.
Yeah.
There we go. The same type of a structure, a long, thin structure with a black end. But this one has 300 miles of sperm coming out of it. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll show you that there are, in fact, two of these. The other one's much decayed, like the other one. Much more decayed here, but here's the remnants of it, taking the same shape and form from the same originating part space. Yeah. So our world is covered with lizard junk and semen and eggs. Different sizes too. These are tiny. You can't differentiate these sperm as you can the other ones. The other ones are a mile long. These ones are indecipherable from the fluids they're in. They're too small. They're probably only like a foot, maybe a couple of feet long. And the ones by the fetus I showed you, they're around a few meters long. I can show you all the sperm around it. That blackness around it is all the sperm. There's all the little sperm. Yeah, so some of those are a few meters up to a couple of 100 feet, all trying to rush in and get to this fetus. So that's fun, eh?
Yeah,
And
this
of
is
course,
deep, man.
you've seen
Uh, so,
Tiamat?
uh, so, so Africa birthed dragons
Yeah,
and lizards.
yeah. Here's Tiamat. You've seen Tiamat's face before. Here's her eye right here in Xing Yang. There's her jawline, her beard, her mouth, her nose right here. So that's Tiamat. Oh, we can see over here a scorpion tail or a barbed tail. A lot of the dragons had barbed tails, so they had a stinger. And even the scorpion men, they had stingers as well. A lot of these traits were passed on to the various generations after Tiamat died. I guess she gave birth to some of these creatures after she died, which is possible for a lizard because they store eggs and sperm for long periods of time. Any thoughts there, Alexander?
No, this is in direction of Mott Fossil University.
Hmm.
I've looked into it, but not real deep, like what you doing right now with detail with the sperm and all of that.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I'm trying to find the origins of the Earth, right? You know,
mhm,
there's the
mhm.
whole controversy, flat Earth, round Earth. I'm stuck on Dragon Earth because it seems to be a
Yeah,
ball of dragon. And
yeah.
I
Well,
believe
the
that.
flat. I don't believe the flat earthing people. The flat earthers like to impose on me. The flat. I'm like, if you grab your telescope, you will see all the other planets around. I'm like, what Earth is so special? Is on flat thing, on a flying turtle with in the glass. I'm like,
True,
it doesn't make
we
sense.
don't see any other examples unless you believe some people believe that the planets we see are just flat disks.
Exactly, and here's a proof that you can prove it. Actually, there's so many ways you can prove, but here's a simple way. Is the lunar eclipse, right? When you have the lunar eclipse, you have the positioning of the sun, and the
Yeah,
Earth is between the sun,
I
and you
get it.
have the moon. So
I get
when you
it.
have the lunar eclipse, is the shadow of the Earth is on the moon. So if Earth is flat, you wouldn't see a perfect circle. You will see just like a flat shadow. You know,
Okay.
you don't see a shadow in circle.
Hmm.
So that's another proof there. You know, there's so many proofs. But what I believe is actually what I encounter with the information is that Earth is actually hollow. It's
I
hollow, and
think
we
it.
have.
I think it has a lot of cavities for sure.
Oh yeah, that also. It
Yeah,
has different layers. What I understand, but this underground advanced civilization living inside of Earth.
they say that they've detected underground oceans underneath the Sahara. So
Yes,
you know, if there could be air, there could be islands, there could be everything down there.
yes.
You know, so female giants vajayjay is the world's largest cave. Yeah, I believe it, Mary. I've
Very
seen
Mary Wales
some of the
project.
work that Roger's done. Have you marked anything in Turkey? I might have.
Turkey. Well, with the Turkey
Oh,
happening there, with the NATO, I don't think they they had some bad thing with NATO, but what I understand there was
They- yeah, they had
a
the earthquake.
yeah, and Syria too. But in Turkey there was U.S. Ship, Navy ship there that was
Mhm.
equipped with a machine that can produce frequency that can orchestrate earthquake. It was
Yep,
in their harbor.
there's a couple of politicians coming out and challenging on that and saying that there should be an investigation into that. Because yeah, and okay, and kudos to class again. We predicted that a couple of weeks before it actually happened. We did a dive into the next thing coming in this conflict, and we saw some type of a geological event, uh, and possibly an earthquake was one of them. So we predicted that. Good job, guys. I wanted to say that again because it's pretty impressive, you guys. You guys did a great job. No, I haven't done any work in Turkey yet. Um, I haven't marked anything in Turkey yet. That's a hard area. Hi, Scotty boy. I think he ended up having to take. Okay, antidepressants. Oh, that's not nice talk. That's sad. All right, let's yeah, let's hit that pipe in. I gotta get smoke ready here. I've got some.
Ah, but that's funny. Sorry,
I've
that's funny.
got some honey oil. We'll
Is
be
that?
tougher than that. Some honey oil.
Oh,
It's a
honey. Yeah, honey.
yeah, it's a dark honey oil.
Oh, more potent.
No, I don't think so. Maybe
You
even
mix
less.
it up
Maybe
with
even a little
silver.
less. A friend of mine made it, so
Oh, nice.
yeah.
You mix it with colada silver. Get honey silver.
No, I haven't done that yet, but what an interesting idea.
Yeah, honey good.
Yeah, it's tasty. Yeah, some silver in there would be good. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Yes. So what I understand, yeah, the Earth is gonna be shifting and the frequency is gonna go up, especially this year that we're in a 7 year, 7 universal year. Is people that are 8 years, what I understand, are gonna have a hard time. But
Uh,
with all that you see into the in the Africa with the egg, you see Earth is like giving birth, going to the next level, birthing a new reality. Maybe
yeah.
that is what's referring to.
Yeah. I have a theory on evolution that I've been working on lately about our evolution as the solar system expands. If a new planet comes in, we evolve, kind of like that type of a thing. Or if a new planet is born, like they say, Jupiter gave birth to Venus. And right at that time, you see the introduction of Noah, the man with the white hair and blue eyes. These
Mm.
two could correlate very well. I could have that wrong, but yeah, there's something in Turkey, probably. There's something everywhere. Actually, this is kind of cool. I was going to mention that Ovid here writes about the Wolfman. So there is the Wolfman too, the man that changes into a wolf in this story, which was kind of cool because we were doing a search on Zodiac in Kingston, I think it was Kingston, the Kingston Zodiac, and it had a wolf, or one of the Zodiacs had a wolf in the center. I don't know if it was exactly that one. I've been going at quite a few recently. So, but yeah, the Wolfman right here in Ovid. Let's see. So
Where's that in your in Canada?
no, no, Ovid. Ovid was a poet and historian from ancient Rome. He
Oh,
wrote a book called, or a poem they call it, called Metamorphosis.
ah, Yeah, metamorphosis. That's what we gonna
That's
be
what I
doing.
was just reading from.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we
Miss
went.
Anonymous, sorry. Miss Anonymous says, look at Bayam Ataturk Forest. Oh yeah, there's a lot of strange forests around the world too. Mm. Energy, maybe it's a cross of
Let
ley line.
me go here. She's got a lot of interesting stuff to look at. Let's
Yeah,
see.
energy
Oh
going up,
no.
things
Yeah, let me
coming
go.
out. Werewolf in London. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I know in the 1930s, I think in LA or 1915, there was a newspaper that says they found underground caverns of reptilian humanoid beings. Early
Okay.
1930s, LA. Yes. Hey, Chloe. Blessing.
She did slap you once. My mom had a wooden spoon. Apparently, I was troublesome.
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got here.
A lot of people
Got an
gonna be
interesting
looking for the mystical this year. Sorry, what's that?
got an interesting formation there. The colors.
Hmm.
Oh, that could be something all by itself. That's the hard part. Is like finding things like this that are separated. Like when I try to find fish. Like there is lots of fish, dead fish in the desert, but they're oftentimes just piled on top of each other, so you can't really make them out. It's nice to find
Hmm.
something like out in the middle of an area all by itself, like this, because you can separate out the parts and look at each part individually, unless it is a pile of stuff in the desert. But see, that looks like kind of like Ayers Rock there, with all the red blood and all that, and the shape of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat, sticking out of the landscape. And now I'm
Well,
mentioning fish. This does look like a fish to me now, but that's
yeah,
probably
maybe a
because
flying fish. I don't know. I
maybe,
see maybe
yeah,
a
I kind of got
fish
like
with
a
two.
wing coming out the side here or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff. What is that? Is that like a what is that? It's got
Good.
lettering on it. Oh, it's a dam. Oh, is it a dam?
Yeah, it looks. We look because we're looking it from above, right? So yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like a
that's a
dam.
dam. Okay. For a moment there, it was looking like a saucer stuck in the ground to my eye.
Lol.
Oh yeah, it's a dam. It's a dam. It's a dam. Caught myself on that one. That's hilarious.
There were there were a few pictures that came out that were released that I saw that were they were in the 1940s tour in Antarctica. Few flying saucers caught in ice there. Yeah, so that's gonna
Oh,
come out. Yeah, I talked with a
well, that's
person that was in army from Australia, and he told me offline that there's a lot of things in Antarctica, like pyramids,
yeah.
castle. He saw a lot of things, but they cannot talk about it publicly.
So that there, that area that I was just zoomed in on, looks like the color of the gut biology, with greens, blacks, and reds. But what it is, I can't tell. This might be good to look at with lidar, so you can get rid of the trees. Although it's still, it's pretty clear. like the image. I'd say a fish, but I don't see a tail. Let's see if we can. This area has been worked over really well too, so you can see all the farms and stuff. I don't know, maybe a fish. This large structure beside it kind of throws me off. That looks like a heart stuck in the ground. Could be part of a larger creature that this creature is on. So, what do you guys think? Any shape ideas?
I still see a flying fish. Maybe
A
somebody
flying
sees
fish?
something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made the landmass disappear on the map. Yeah. They won't show you the very center of the North or South Pole either. That's completely blocked out.
Yeah, why? Oh, it's
Yeah, I don't know.
because Emerald Bird says there's a hole on each side you can enter in.
That's
Oh,
uh, that's what he says. At least so we've heard, right?
yes.
Yeah, Turkey. Let me see. I think yeah, it was sorry, London man showed me some old maps, and a lot of that area is um, like especially up here. Hold on, these mountains here, just above Bulgaria, and these all across here in ancient maps show as dragon parts. They don't show. It's just dragon scaled mountains. They show. They don't show what parts of the dragon they are. But these areas that I'm highlighting right now, that I'm going over, like Liechtenstein, up here to Frankfurt in Germany, where it says Germany, down here to Chechnya, Slovakia. These are all apparently dragon parts. You can see what looks like almost like a mermaid here. You can see a head, and she's arched her back, but it's probably dragon parts. Doesn't that look like a mermaid with an arched back? There's
Yes.
her knees, there's her bum, there's her breasts, there's her arms headed up, and her head here. But as far as I know, that's dragon parts. But mermaid is possible because I don't know what this is. And I haven't found dragon scales on it, but they say there are dragon parts here. So that could be some of the scales here, but it's so covered. Uh, I have a hard time discerning what's under there because you can't see the colors of the rock either. And the scales do have distinctive colors that you can identify. But that does look like a flashy tail. But the dragons have flashy tails too. So, dragon or mermaid, up to you guys to decide. But can you see the mermaid? Oh, yeah, Chloe does. Chloe sees it. Absolutely. And they talk about these things in Ovid and other things. Ovid talks about the fish men, the scorpion men, all these different peoples that were before us. It's really cool. Like we aren't the uh, first iteration of man, and we probably won't be the last. You know, but it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like it's ever been like a sudden start and stop. There's always a gradual overtaking of the new creature, and that it could have to do with the environment, or could have to do like with something like I say, a new planet coming in or something, or even just maybe the gods come down every 2,000 years and start doing genetic modifications or something. I don't know. I love nerds. You mean the candy? Or you just love nerds? I saved their life with a smile. That's nice. Right over Romania looks the same. Yeah, it does. But I've never seen, I didn't see it as a mermaid before. This is the first time I've seen it like that. That's kind of cool. Maybe it is. What about this area, guys? Is there any? Or if it's a group of mermaids or something, right? This area down here, I think, is a dragon's, the beginning of a dragon somewhere. Uh, there are, I think it was down here. I saw invisible scales. Maybe not. Let's check out this color. Because dragon scales, I can show you, they have a distinctive look to them, and they're layered. Um, I'll show you the ones in Morocco. I found others around the world, and although I found the scales, piecing together what the creature looks like and how it's oriented is very difficult at times. Here we can see what dragon scales look like. They're diamond shaped, obviously, and they have a layering of different colors. Go over the other side and look at the other ones. Here, so you can see the layering in them.
Hmm.
Here, these colors are often these reds, browns, greens. This color here. We go to a different one. I have several examples of dragon scales. Snake scales. Dragon whole body. Let's see what that one is. This one apparently could be the whole body of a dragon. Let's see where we are. Oh, that one's really difficult to see. But somewhere in this image is a dragon. Parts of a dragon, anyway. Let's see. Bookmarks,
In the
colors,
past, we had
dragon scales. There we go.
in the past we had giant dragons roaming the earth.
Yep. So you can see the scale colors here better and the shape.
Did something happen that petrified them?
Well, see, they died. Some of them, okay, some of them died before the flood, and some of them died after cataclysms. I think there was 3 or 4 floods, um, and how they preserved is different in different ways. Some of them leave a depression in the landscape. Some of them are whole-bodied and on the landscape, and some of them just kind of melt because they just melted. So there's different ways that it happened depending on when they died. So yeah,
Hmm.
because yeah, because some of these eggs were born before the floods. So a lot of the monsters in that, like in let me go back here to Metamorphosis. See, they talk of a time here. Showing. Let's go back. Creation of the cosmos. Okay. Yeah, right here. Um, for all the this is before the Earth was completely formed. Um, for all the land was mixed with sea and air. The land was soft, the sea unfit to sail. So the land was soft at one time because it was a giant dead dragon, as far as I understand it. And a Zuni legend says the same thing, that the earth was soft at one time.
The Zulu legend or Zuli
Zuni,
or Zulu?
Zuni.
Which where they come? Which tribe is
South
that?
America. They're from South America.
Oh, South America. Okay.
Micro to macro, right, Goth? There's a guy who has found megalithic turtles with their necks slit, like the dragons were. Oh, neat. I'd like to see that. I found one, I believe, was a turtle. Turtle shell, at least. Let's see if I can. I have so many bookmarks. There we are. Turtle shell. So right here. Somebody said it looks like a alligator catfish, maybe. You can see the
Alligator
shell.
catfish.
Yeah, you can see the shape here of a shell with the bumps all over it, very uniformed. But up
Oh,
the
it didn't
side,
change. The screen didn't change if you're showing.
oh, okay, let me fix that.
Thanks, Chloe.
Take a look at that for a moment.
Yes.
So you can see that there's like a shell-like structure on there in this area. Oops. And the thing is, it's bigger than what we can see, but I can't see these areas. You can see that it evenly, these two sides up here are mirrored, even in color and structure. This gray area here is mirrored
Mm-hmm.
perfectly over here. So this is some type of a creature. I do not know exactly what, but I thought a turtle. Somebody said a catfish, a turtle, catfish turtle or something, I think. Um, but its body goes on out here somewhere. I don't know where it ends. But yeah, so that looked to me like a turtle shell. But if somebody's got other turtle shells, I'd love to see them. One of them's elephants. Elephanio? Elephanios, okay. Fish or sea turtle, yeah. Pac Man, yeah. That's pretty cool. If you ever enjoyed playing the game Spore, it's pretty accurate. The soup is the ocean. Okay. Yeah, I don't think life on Earth started as microbes and then evolved into creatures. I think creatures were born right here on the Earth's surface in the beginning. The dragons, lizards, fishmen, other things, the monsters, and that we evolved from there, from that point. So that's what I'm seeing. Max had to be an only child? I don't know. No, I wasn't. If you're talking about me, the poor turtles, right, Jojo? You see the V-shaped mouth? See, I think that's the shell. I don't know why it's got a big V shape in it, but I think that's the shell. Have pictographs. Nice. Yeah, me and my wife were talking about the pixies, trolls, and all the little people that there used to be apparently around too.
Yeah, I think they're still around.
Yeah, I think
They,
so too. I hope
yeah.
so.
No, I saw a video of a guy there on their bike in Indonesia riding on a sand road, and a little person crossed in front of him that it shocked the guy. The guy fell down from his bike, and the other guy went after it, and you see it running, and then he dives in the grass, and then they searched for it but didn't find it.
Really, that's cool. I'd love to see that. Trolls, you mean like Joe Biden? No, not like Joe Biden. How you tell me? We should gather around the campfire, tell the stories that are the best. Yeah.
I don't
You can
know,
see
Joe
me. I'm
Biden.
talking about you. Okay, Bunny. I don't know who you were talking about, Bunny. I wasn't an only child, by the way. I had a brother and a sister. You'd be surprised just how funny a pause in between certain things can add or detract from the humor. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Todd. Plus, I don't read all the chat. Did you see the fish on the California coast I sent to you yesterday? Hmm, let's take a look. Do. Turkey. Sent from email 5. Do, 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 Ooh, no subject. Those are the maps. We saw those. Let's look at those again. With, Mount Meru. I was joking. It looks like a big bum hole in the middle of the earth. I'm not seeing anything else. I didn't see it. Let me check my other account. There we are. Birds or feathers. You're still on the other account. I tried to get you to change it. Oh, you got lots of stuff for me. We'll go through what Mary Wins has sent us. What's this? Oh, the tree. Okay, we looked at that. That's a tree. Uh, pyramids built on a giant tree stump. Oh, maybe. Hold on. I like maps. I'll have to watch that later. Oh, cool. Neat. Oh, let's go back. Okay, so that's North America at a different time. Well, if there were giant people and giant lizards, there were probably giant trees as well. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so there's the pyramids on the top of the trees. That's cool. In Cairo. Okay. They do look like tree stumps. Roger thinks they're the heel bones of the giants, though. It could be either. Tree stumps, they have petrified trees. There's a petrified forest. I don't know which cataclysm formed them, but they're there. That's really cool. Cool map. Okay. Let's see where we are. Lost ancient maps. Oops. Why aren't you letting me skip? Okay. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out, buddy. Oh, hold on. You guys aren't where I am.
Was was mapped in remote prehistory before in
Did you guys see the other
1966.
maps or no?
Historical interest, but some would argue that its importance lies not merely in its depiction of the Americas. In his book Map of the
Oh, where'd
Ancient
you
Sea
go,
Kings,
Alex?
first
We lost
published in
Alex.
1966, Charles Hapgood, a historian and geographer at the University of New Hampshire, put forward the controversial theory that the landmass joined to the southern part of South America at the bottom of the map can only be a depiction of Antarctica hundreds of years before it was discovered.
Yeah.
The apparently detailed rendering of the Antarctic coastline on the chart, including what Hapgood believed was an accurate depiction of Queen Maud
Oh,
Land,
what are you guys going
shown
on
without
about?
its glaciers, which would suggest incredibly that the continent was mapped in remote prehistory before it became completely covered in ice. But
Yep,
how was Stone
I
Age
agree
man
with you,
able to
Todd. It's
survey
perfectly
and
fine
chart the region of
if people
Antarctica
don't agree
at
with
such
you.
an early period in human history? Hapgood suggested the
Now,
existence
don't
of
be
now
saying that
forgotten
kind of thing.
prehistoric seafaring civilizations, whose achievements included journeying from pole to pole and mapping the entire surface of the Earth at some time in the remote past. He theorized that these civilizations had left a legacy of maps which were hand-copied over
That'll
thousands of
get you a
years,
timeout. You keep
perhaps
saying
by
stuff like
expert
that.
seafaring cultures such as the Minoans of Crete and the Phoenicians. For Hapgood, the Piri Reis map was in effect a compilation of these ancient maps. The sources for Piri Reis's map are somewhat of a mystery, but most researchers believe they would have included the works of Greek astronomer and geographer Ptolemy, 2nd century AD, various
Interesting.
Portuguese maps, and Christopher Columbus. In fact, Reis himself states in his notes on the chart that he copied from Columbus's maps. Many features on the Piri Reis map, including place names and representations in the West Indies, show that he was using at least one of Columbus's maps to draw his own chart. Another indication that Reis was using medieval European maps is the depiction, near the top of the chart, of a ship next to a fish, which carries two people on its back. This note attached to this illustration quotes some
That's cool. I wonder if that fish is in
medieval story from the life of the Irish Saint Brendan.
one of the islands,
This has
maybe.
obviously been reproduced by Piri Reis from one of his source maps, proving that one of them at least was of medieval European origin. Most scholars now believe that the Piri Reis map is no more accurate than would be expected for a 16th century Portolan chart, deriving information from existing geographical knowledge and often pure conjecture. There is no reason to believe that Piri Reis based his map on the work of a hypothetical ancient superculture. Certainly, it's possible that he had an ancient source of material
Interesting.
that is
Yeah.
now lost to us, but beyond that, the Piri Reis map should be appreciated for what it is.
Cool. Okay, let's see. Is that the same thing? Bird or feathers? Hmm. Let's see if we can look at it a little closer. Oh, there's some colors that are interesting. There's a good border. Let's see. Where is this? Alagan Kea. Aglayan Kea. That's an interesting name. Somewhere in the Ukraine, or let's see if I can spell that right. Aglayan Kea. Okay. Aglayan Kea. Okay. Maybe we have it here. Interesting. Let's take a broader look at it. Hmm. Interesting spot. Definitely something on the landscape there. See if we can find a front end or a back end. Could be a back end right out here. Looking for the colors red, green, and black. It could be part of something bigger, something much bigger as well. I hope this is the right spot. Is it? Sergio is the fastest cartoonist ever. Okay. Rest of the giant's head sticking out of a stump, and the rest of their bodies are inside a stump. So I think they morphed into a tree, uh, in the tree into the giant. And funny you mentioned that. We were reading Metamorphosis. There's a story about that, about a woman who wants to remain a virgin. She's chased by men, and she asks the gods for help. And the gods turn her into a tree so she can remain a virgin. She'd still get pollinated, unfortunately. The rest of the giant's head sticking out of the stump. That's neat. Someone said the Devil's Tower was a fungus. To me, the Devil's Tower looks like it's described as a heel bone or a foot. Tree stumps, and Roger said that those were the heels of giants, and I was very confused. Didn't know what to do with that one, so I decided that they must be both. Well, they look like tree stumps very much. So and Julian and Roger are both right. Well, it could be. Yeah, I mean, I can't decipher the creature on that, but let me share this. Um, so this is the story of the Lachean transformed into a wolf. The Great Deluge, the first Pythian games. Let me find it. Give me a moment. Sister wife, or I should just read this whole thing to you, but the giants, that's a good one. Let me read the giants to you. Unless ethereal height should long remain less troubled than the earth, the throne of heaven was threatened by the giants, and they piled mountain upon mountain to the lofty stars. But Jove, omnipotent, Jove, the jovial Jupiter, shot thunderbolts through Mount Olympus, and he overturned the Osa, huge, enormous Pelion. And while these dreadful bodies lay overwhelmed in their tremendous bulk, so fame reports, the earth was reeking with the corpus blood of her gigantic sons, and thus replete with moisture, she infused the steam with gore and with life renewed. so that a monument of such ferocious stock should be retained. She made that offspring in the shape of man. But this new race, alike despite the gods, and by the greed of savage slaughter, proved a singularly sanguinary in birth. So they didn't reproduce. I believe that's the meaning. Murder, die, kill. Yeah, yeah. Jove slaughtered them. Let's go back here for a moment. So I see lots of interesting shapes. Could be a man. So when we find, let me show you another man. Apparently, this is three men, but interesting colors over here that we get. Now, there's supposed to be three heads here. One here. Let me go in close for you. One here. One up around here somewhere. There is a depression. Right, is it here? That might be the second head. And right here is supposed to be maybe a third head. The colors are interesting. You get this pinkish color here. You can see. Hey, back, Alex, no. Down here we have what looks like Ant-Man. You guys see an ant figure in that? Show you. This is cool. Take it over here. This one I have down pretty well. Oops, it's not very. There we go. A little better. Here we go. You can see antenna. Head. Coming down to a mandible. And possibly the eye right there. Ant-Man. I think that's cool. You guys see Ant-Man? Oh, you can't see him now. But I like Ant-Man. He's really cool. There's a story that matches that as well. Give me a second. I got to clean that off. I do love showing those things. Did you guys see it or no? Yeah, you must have. Okay. Yeah. Good. I fight boogers. Boogers? It's war. Yeah. A fox face? Cool. Yeah. Like some of the Japanese anime stuff. Super happy, exciting, fun times. Yeah, that is an interesting one. Okay, let's go back to my inbox here. Big feathers or bird? I couldn't tell on that one. Oh, this one's a no-go. This is what I got for this that you sent me. Just shows me an arrow. That's all I've got. Let's go home. Was it on Smudge Session you left the video in the comments? 0 comments. Couple comments. 2 comments. Well, what are they? There we go. I had to hit on it to get it to show up. Massive trees.
Put up a video about what looks like a massive ancient tree and evidence of branches and leaves laying next to a huge stump.
Oh,
In
cool.
fact, one of the leaves measured taller than the Empire State Building. I'm
Oh,
going to take
wow.
you to the location now, and here we go. And the area that we are looking at is north central Madagascar, right in this area here. There are more than one example of what look like to me ancient tree stumps with
Oh,
quite
cool.
possibly
That's important.
large
Finding
branches or large
multiples is
leaves in
cool.
some cases, laying next to some of these very huge structures. This is one that I showed you guys yesterday.
Very cool.
Measure this thing and you can look at the side view
Oh,
even.
look at that.
On
That's
Google
neat.
Earth here, we'll go side to side. There's the stump. 4,000 foot on this side over here, go across, a little taller on this side, at about 4,150 feet. It's over 8 miles wide. Look at the miles, 8.45 miles. We could set the entire city of Nashville and all of its suburbs right there quite comfortably. If you go to the left, which would be about the 10, 11 o'clock position, all over in this area, you'll find what look like leaves and branches all over the ground. Here's an example of one
Nice.
here. There's many, many, many examples. This one here we're going to measure real quick. And I'll show you just to kind of put things in perspective how long that thing is compared to something that's very tall. So we'll measure from top to bottom.
All right.
Go in feet, 1,596 feet. That one branch is taller
98,
than the
eh?
Empire State Building.
Wow.
We showed in a video earlier, right there. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's the
does look a
same
lot like
exact
leaves.
branch that's on the ground, taller than the Empire State Building. And there's others. There's many others. So if you look around, you'll also find many more examples of these leaves, like right here, big,
Mhm.
huge branches. To me, they look like something in the cedar family. Obviously, this is in a league all of its own. Nothing like what we know today. I mean, we think 200 feet's tall. Can you imagine? This thing's got, which it does, it looks like it's got this is a pretty good example here, and that's a cedar. 8-mile wide base. Look there. Good example. That looks like, to me, a cedar. But the base of that one that I showed you is 8 miles wide. It's near a river. It would have taken a lot of water to supply a living organism that big with an 8-mile wide base. And again, the height, I couldn't
Different
even
atmosphere.
speculate. It's hard to wrap your mind around something that could be that tall. You know, it had to be many miles tall. There's another example up here. Looks like yet another ancient tree stump. Got a river here. You got what looked like little arteries running through it. I'm sure at one time those supplied water to a very tall structure, which is right here in north
I've
central
seen wood
Madagascar.
break up
When
into
you go over
chunks
here
like
to the
that
west coast of Madagascar, you'll find yet
from
another, what looks
waterlogging.
like to me, a very good example of a tree, or what used to be an old tree. This is the stump.
Circle.
You've got the primaries, which are the
They
rivers.
don't look like the eggs I
That's its
find
primary
either.
source of
They do
water.
look different.
Probably right next to the roots, and the root systems go probably many miles deep.
Wait for the
We'll measure this
acorns.
one for
Nice.
perspective purposes, just from edge to edge. 8.5 miles long. It's about the same size as the one next door.
Very
Let's
cool.
measure its side height. Go from here to here. There you go. There's your structure.
Beautiful.
Goes up about 1,175 feet.
Repeating patterns. I like it.
And it's 8.5 miles across.
Yeah,
It's got
give us.
two
Well,
rivers,
we'll wait and see,
a
Mary.
lot of secondaries that fed it water at one time.
Some pretty good evidence.
You'll also
I like
find
it.
in this area, if you look close, they're a little harder to see. There's other examples over here. What to me looks like once was an old tree, old tree, old tree. I just showed you one over on the left.
Neat.
If you look closely in this area here to the left of this big structure, you'll find what look like occasionally some sort of a large seed that is laying next to a branch or a leaf, like in this case here. There are examples if you look closely, and those things are like 27 feet wide in some examples. Here's another picture of the landscape that you'll find next to that stump that I shared with you guys yesterday, and to me that's undeniable. Those are some sort of leaves from a big tree from long ago. And, you know,
It could be, Mary.
Earth is a fascinating place, and this is just
Cool.
one of the many fascinating aspects of our planet. So enjoy, guys. That's on Google Earth, once again, in central Madagascar.
Yeah, I'll show you guys Devil's Tower and how I think it's a person. Over here in Wyoming. Or is it Utah? It's not too huge, so it's not as easy to find. Utah. Nope, that's not it. Wyoming, I guess. Why I always think it's in Utah. There we go. Okay, so if that is a foot bone, I would think there would be another one. And what we find over here is another white structure. And you saw how those trees, they weren't this color, they weren't white. And the tops of them were different than this. This is sheared off almost completely flat, whereas those tree stumps are gnarled like a tree would be if it was broken. This looks more cellular. And let me show you why I'm pretty convinced that this is a person. Okay, so let's start from the head. So here's a depression in the ground. And as we said before, sometimes they leave depressions, sometimes they leave mounds. It just depends on the way in which the body decayed. So here's what I believe is a hole where the head is. Coming down the torso. You can see the torso here, possibly an arm off to the side here. Right down here, we can see the junk hole. I don't know why that's darkened there, but there's two legs, one coming down this way and bending to the Devil's Tower. So it's kind of bent. know if you can see that. And the other leg goes straight down and over. It's kind of bent outward a little bit. So the knee is probably up here over the words Devil Tower, climbing guides. So in this area here, coming down to his foot. So I think this guy probably died in the flood, the Great Flood, the first one. Got stuck in the mud here, drowned, and fell over, basically, and lay here in the mud until he turned into what we see here, with his head here and his body coming down here. One leg this way and one leg that way. Bent. This one's bent. Obviously double jointed. Okay, so some of you see it? Yeah, not very imaginative. Yeah, we have Devil's Punch Bowl here. That's our Devil's thingy. You know, the blood turns to gold. Parts of it do, yeah. The heaviest parts. Below the tower where the foot is, where the gold is, yeah. That's what Roger believes. Yeah, a lot of gold is included in quartz crystals, often. What are you on about, Toth? Devil's Tower, not very... I don't know, that's... maybe he was a devil. I don't know. A lot of these giants and stuff were pretty bad in temperament, so... It could be. I don't know. But that's Devil's Tower, as I see it, as a person. Somebody could see it as a tree stump, but I looked for, like again I said, there's the 1 foot, and right at the end of what I believe is the other leg is the remnants of the other tendon end, I guess you'd call it, heel, foot part. Really cool. But what he showed us in Madagascar was really cool. The tree stumps, those look totally different. So let me go over there. Now those tree stumps were not a whitish color. You can almost see them right now. Oh, cool colors. Okay, so they're quite big. So we should be able to see them. There we go. And the leaf-like structures littered around it. There's a good one right there. A couple good ones. If that's them. So those are quite big. Yeah, and they're different. You see how the color is totally different? The heel bone, the heels of the giants are chalky white. This is a totally different thing altogether. I would believe these could be trees, easily. Giant trees. Well, I love it when people find stuff like this. Ooh, look at that one. Yeah. No, no. I don't know what all that is. Really cool, though. But yeah, you can definitely see at least the two examples I found, but it's totally different than the heel bone, the heel of the giant in Devil's Tower. Yeah, I don't know. I don't debate what people say they see. You know, if you see, I don't know, an amoeba, I don't know. That's up to you. You know, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, there is the story of you'll have to read Ovid, Metamorphosis. There's the story of the woman turning into a tree, which fits right in with what she was talking about. So there you go, right? And I believe the ancient stories. Root system, I don't know. It looks like burl wood. Okay. Take it easy, Todd. So that's pretty cool. Don't dominate the chat there, Honest Toth. Okay? That's really cool. So yeah, I can only really find the two examples right now, but that's pretty good. That's awesome. That's right, I price match. Acorns, what did I miss? I didn't. The acorns you said were only 27 meters long, so that's pretty small. You'd have to get in real close to see those. I'll go 2% under any 5%. Okay. Yeah, you take up just 2% under Toth there, Steady Boy. To crush the chat and hear the lamentations of their women, yes. Yeah, there were seeds or something. I don't know. They weren't quite, they didn't really look like acorns, but some type of a seed it looked like. Let's see, where are we there? Wyoming. Let's see if we can find the acorn again.
Guys, yesterday I put up a video about two rivers and a lot 75 feet, and it's 8.5 miles
That's
across.
pretty cool.
It's got two rivers and a lot of secondaries that there are
Yeah,
examples.
there we go. There's what he thinks might be a seed or an acorn right there. You know what sucks? But then you do the second part, and that makes the joke. Look like a lion? Yeah, kind. I don't see that really. Let's take a look here. I don't know. I get leaf. It's got a stem on it, right? Why does every one of these things have that stem thing, right? And then the big formation and stem. See, even this one, you can see a stem coming up and over.
If you look close.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Guys, there you go. There's your structure. Goes up about
So that's pretty cool.
1,175,
Yeah.
27 feet wide in some
27 feet wide, he says, not 27 meters. So that's really small.
27 feet wide.
Yeah, that would be hard to find. The trees threw apples at the lion? Maybe. A mane, 2 ears in the front left, and the paw? Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's 3 of them. Okay. I'm a paper carrying lunatic? Cool. I had a dream once that the leaves were alive
In some examples.
and conscious and
Here's
talking.
another picture of the landscape.
That might have been an
outlined
acid
next
trip
to
too,
that
I'm
stuff
not
that I
sure.
shared with you guys
But yeah,
yesterday.
look at them. They all have like a stem coming from them. That's really neat.
And to me, that's undeniable. Those are some sort of leaves from a big tree from long, long ago. And, you know, Earth is a fascinating place, and this is just one of the.
That's really cool. Inbox. No subject. No. Birds or feathers. We looked at that one. I can't tell. That one's hard. That could be leaves too. It kind of got that leafy look to it, Mary Wins, this image you sent. Which one was it there? Huh. Why aren't you coming up? Inbox. There we go. What's that? Is that it? No. In that last image, yeah, I see faces in all of them. You see gremlins? Don't get them wet. Yeah, pareidolia is a hard thing. You got to watch out for that. That's for sure. So when I do it, I try to look for biological markers like the intestines, facial features, body features, stuff like that. Pretty much everything was something at one time, a part of something. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, that image. That's a hard one to make out what it is. See, some of it looks like leaves, and but a lot of it can also look like feathers. Could be leaves. Hard to tell. I don't know what. See, it'd be good to see what this was on the end of. If this was on the end of something, could be feathers. But leaves is a good idea for that one. What do you want about Thoth? Sort of like creating a cliffhanger in the brain, somebody's brain. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, it is hard to tell with this one, Chloe. Where is this? I tried to find that. Alligator Kea. But I couldn't find the same spot, even though I spelt it right. It's very close in, so I can't. 30 degrees north. That's very difficult to do. 29 east. 38 north, 29 east. See if we can do it that way. No, won't do it for me. It'd have to be on Google Earth, I think. Paradillo? No, it's pareidolia, not paradillo. Who hasn't seen faces in a tree? Yep, or a piece of wood. Yep, absolutely. I've seen them in flooring, all over the place, right? Faces are so easy to see, we look for it. Our minds are trained to see faces. Even from birth, we look into the eyes of our parents, you know. Looks like a lady in a dress carrying a tree. Oh, cool. Maybe I could find it on Google Earth. Yeah, if you can, Chloe, send it to me. That was a really odd movie. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm sad Alex didn't come back. Hi, Max. We'll have a tail in a moment. There's the tail. All hail the tail. Hello, buddy. I know a place where the deer hang out, and all the rocks around there have pictures of deer on them. Oh, nice. Yeah, like we were looking at the Kingston Zodiac today. That was really cool. If I saved that, I should. Put it in chat a few times. There it is. Make sure I bookmark that. That was really cool. Show that for those of you that haven't seen it. It's zodiac in the landscape, in the roads and place names and bars and everything, and even the history that happened there. There's several videos attached to this this website. Hi, Max. They're each about 3 to 5 minutes long. I'd suggest watching them. They're good. They're good videos. You need a good story and a good cliffhanger? Oh, a cult? Yeah, start a cult. You need a good story and a cliffhanger. That's a good idea. I know a place ain't nobody winning. Okay. Sorry, Max. Yeah, this was really cool. They have all the zodiacal signs put into the landscape. I'm going to try to map it out on my own and see if I can copy what they've done. It's really good work. You need a holographic dog? Well, we've almost hit 2 hours, guys. I think we're going to end it for tonight. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for sharing all your images and stuff. I really appreciate that. I think it's great to share stuff. And Madagascar, full of trees. That's really cool. And are we the offspring of the monsters? Or were we just created from the dust? I think that's up for you to decide. All right, guys. Much love to you all. Till next time, keep your third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye bye.